Hello and welcome to this podcast. Thank you for watching the replay. My name is Granny Clancy. I work as a cancer psychotherapist and my special interest is stress and anxiety. And this this YouTube video is about emotions, being an emotional roller coaster. So today we were told by the government that the extension to COVID-19 in Ireland has been increased to the 5th of May before things return to normal. So I just want to talk to you about that. And I don't know about you, but I certainly got irritable with my husband. It was like, he hadn't done this. He'd tidied the whole kitchen, it was spotless. But there was one thing he hadn't done. And I was irritable. But that's because, our movements for another 3 weeks are being restricted. And so there's this thing that happens to every single person. So I'm going to backtrack slightly and talk about myself a little bit, share my story of what happened to me. So way back in the let me set the scene. So around 1997, 98, round about then, I'm not good with dates. I, for a variety of reasons, a thing called secondary trauma due to my workplace. And it was this eventual journey that I was eventually diagnosed with depression. And I was told, and for a little while before, and I was doing okay, but for about a month, I was very aware of what I was doing, where I was going, planning out routes, because I was a bit paranoid as part of this depression. But then Drumcree happened. So just to set the scene, so in County Antrim in the late around 97, 98, the Orange Men wanted to march down the Gravaki Road and they weren't allowed to. And so there was a protest made that they wanted to do this. And what happened was that basically the place went into shutdown. So for about, it might not be a month, it felt like a month, but for that period of time, everyone was going shopping, coming home and staying indoors because there was that anxiety of what was going on. So not as like COVID-19. The only difference is we've been told to stay indoors because we don't want to spread the virus. At the minute, there's not a vaccine or any way of treatment. So our way is to break it down. But for me, during that time, my behavior was very normal because everyone else was paranoid. Everyone else was worried about coming and going. So as a result of that, so in that time, everyone was covering what we call hyperarousal. So what hyperarousal means is that we're really aware of what's going on. So our stress response has been invoked. So the best way I have of describing your stress response, so at the back of our neck, back of our brain here, is what's called our reptilian brain. And in our brain, we have a gland called the amygdala. And that's unique to every single person, okay? That depends on life experiences, etc. But at the moment, we are collectively going through this traumatic period because there's degree of uncertainty and a sense of a lack of control. So what's happening is that we're being chased, whatever your scary animal is, name it, okay? So for me, it would be a tiger, okay? A tiger chasing me really, really fast. So as a result of that, what's happening is that our awareness, our adrenaline levels are increasing, and we're watching what people are doing. So in talking with friends, they've said, yeah, somebody came past and I jumped. Yeah, because you're in that state of what's called hyperarousal. So when hyperarousal happens, okay, it can make us feel really jittery and uncomfortable. So it could be, so to bring ourselves back down into that moment, I've talked before in my previous video about grounding exercises. So when you're doing those grounding exercises, when you're feeling your feet on the floor, when you're looking around the room, when you're listening. They are all things that help enforce in our nervous system, okay, there's not anything here that is frightening, that is scary. I know the people I'm working with. This is okay. So this part of our brain kicks in. Okay, so that's the hyperarousal when we're really feeling those emotions and our heart's going really fast. So what we're doing is wanting to bring ourselves, so if we got the hyperarousal up here, and then there's hypo, and that's where we totally switch off our emotions. So for me, when I was working at that period of time when I was depressed, working in healthcare, and there was a lot of things going on that I was really struggling with. So I wasn't tapping into how I was feeling. I was pushing down all those emotions because I didn't know how to deal with them. And that there's a variety of reasons for why that was going on for me. So that's really where counseling. So we want to get you into this, your window where you can tolerate things of what's going on, okay? And yes, there's things out with our control, okay? We don't know when this is going to end. We don't. But we know it will end. So if you look to say the SARS outbreak that happened in Canada in 2003, that ended. It did end. But the most important thing is to keep that connection going with all the people that you know, okay? The things that work, the grounding exercises that I talked about, they take practice. So the grounding exercises, they're listening to your favourite music, they're getting out in the fresh air. And sometimes that's not possible to do. Sometimes it could be, but you can't do things. Like somebody talked today, oh, it'd be lovely to get back to the beach. And we can't. But we have technology that allows us to see, if you like the ocean, backwards and forwards, putting on a video. And imagine yourself there feeling the sand in your feet, hearing the sea. I'm closing my eyes on doing this, to imagine it. So there's things that we can do. But what else is going on is that we're being triggered. So back in that amygdala that stores when all our times that we were stressed, that can get quite big. Research has shown that will get big with people. So that's where counselling comes in. So at the moment, if you are getting up during the night, not sleeping properly, getting up and going to the toilet during the night, and you're finding it difficult to sleep, if you're a healthcare worker and you're focusing on that one thing that you feel you didn't do right, if you're feeling overwhelmed by your emotions, then counselling offers that safe space to be. And I have personal experience of what it's like to feel anxiety, to have something outside the door. I grew up in the Troubles, so I'm very aware of what our environment, the impact that it has on us. But as a counsellor psychotherapist, I also know I can support you and I can help. There is tools I have. I always say I have a really large toolbox. And so I'm offering support online. Get in touch with me, to see if we can work together, but there is support there is help there, and don't be afraid to ask for it, because just now our nervous system, our amygdala is going, oh, there's so much going on. Our routine, we like routine. We're used to doing things. We're used to being with people. And just now there's a lot of screen time going on. But screens disappear. When you really connect with somebody, when you really feel listened to and heard, it makes a difference. And I'm there. I have availability. And I don't do mornings because I'm not a morning person, but I do afternoons and I do evenings. So I have availability. So if you want to get in touch with me, please feel free to do so. Do not struggle at this time, because what they've shown is that if you deal with what you're going through just now, if you get the support, if you stay connected, to others and you make use of all the supports available, then you'll get through this. We'll all get through this. We will all get through this. Ireland, you're doing so amazingly well. I'm so proud of the Taoiseach, the Health Minister. We're doing amazing work at this moment in time, and we will get through this. We will. And we'll look back and go, do you remember when? My uncle sometimes tells stories of of the chocolate coming and the women getting the nylon tights. So there was lots of things. So one other thing I would ask of you, so it's Friday the 10th of April 2020. So in Ireland tomorrow night, we're all being asked to light a candle and put a candle, light, doesn't matter, not the lanterns, but a light, and show that in your house and share it on RTE, because together we're stronger. So when we connect with others, that makes us stronger. And there's not anything that you've thought, that I know that I've thought and you think, oh, it might be stupid. There's no such thing. Feelings are just a way of telling us there's something wrong. And I have, as I said, a really big toolbox that can help. But I hope that helps, and it kind of gives you an insight into what is going on at this moment in time. And if you like, give me a comment, send me a message. I'm here. I'm Gráinne Clancy from Evolution Counselling, gently accepting you.